This is going to be your beginner guide for Pokemon Masters. In today's video, we're going to be covering the early stages of the game, forming your first strong sync pair team, and then progressing through the story, which also includes basic training as well as super training. If you want a more advanced guide, that's going to be coming out in a bit, so I recommend that you subscribe for full Pokemon Masters coverage. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if it helped you out, please share it with your friends. It helps me out in return. Discord, Twitter, Facebook, hit up all that social media, get everyone on board. Pokemon Masters is a super fun and hype game, and with all that out of the way, let's get into the guide. So, the beginning of the game is super free, super easy. It's a tutorial, and then it starts loading you up with strong characters, and then there's also going to be like a lot of really nice stuff for you. Oh hey, look at that, you have Brock, Misty, and a Pikachu, and then you're going to have weaknesses that are in your favor, but the first character you're going to be getting is Rosa and her Snivy. She's busted, she's going to be with you for the rest of the game, so keep that in mind. Now, the beginning stages of the game are pretty easy. It's effectively a tutorial, and a lot of things are just handed to you, such as favorable type matchups, and one of the strongest characters in the game, Rosa and Snivy. She's 5 stars, she gets a higher level cap, and she just naturally has more stats, and she's pretty good to be using because she is going to buff your team super hard. Now, one thing I can say throughout this video is that if you don't want to run super standard, super meta, you want to play the story at your pace, you are totally free to do so. The game kind of gives you a little bit of guidance, but in my experimenting with the game, you don't have to run Pikachu whenever it says there's an electric weakness. You can just kind of run whatever you want, and if you're a little bit behind, you can eventually train over it, but there are going to be times where it's good to run standard, that we can get a little bit of a power creep, and then you can kind of accelerate and train the trainers that you want to train and customize your experience, or you can really play standard throughout the story, and then when everything opens up at the end, that's when we can start going into the fun customization, earn gems by just farming things out with Rosa, Snivy, and a recommended team, and then when you get all those gems for the sync pair unlocks, you'll eventually end up with the dream team that you've always wanted. But overall, the first stuff is pretty easy, and then when you get Barry, again, pretty free, the game becomes yours. Side note on Barry, I don't even think it's possible to lose this encounter as long as you're pressing buttons and you bring Snivy. I brought an Onix that was receiving special attack boost, and I shelved Pikachu, and I still made it through. So once you get Barry, that is going to be the last piece to unlocking the dream team. That you want to run Rosa, Barry, and Whitney. Whitney is a scripted encounter. She's going to be your first sync pair that you end up receiving, and then you kind of have everything you need because trainer abilities are busted. That is the biggest thing I can teach you about this game. You spam the trainer moves, and then they do work. So, Rosa and Snivy, that is going to be a special attack all. That boosts your Snivy, and that buffs your Piplup into a massive carry. Whitney, she is going to be bringing the X speed. Now, how speed works in this game is it's how much your move meter fills up. So, the sooner you use X speed, the better, because that means your move gauge is effectively never going to run out, and then Piplup hits everything with Bubble, and it is a 1-bar spam move. And just in case the opponent does some weird stuff, Barry even has a full heal, and that is all that you want to do. Now, a side note about the trainer abilities is that they technically, in theory, have a drawback that you can only use them the 2 times, but pretty much every challenge is going to be 2 battles. You can see the amount of battles for a challenge, so if it's 1, spam everything. If it's 2, just use 1 each. You go Whitney boost, Snivy boost, or whatever order you want, doesn't really matter because the trainer abilities don't take up move power, and then you use Bubble, and then when you get your sync move, you win. So just pay attention to that number and pay attention how you're using it, and it's going to be super strong. Now for bosses, as well as strong 1-battle challenges, you just want to dump all of your trainer moves as fast as possible. And the faster you spam it, the more you're going to be able to undercut your opponent, because it's whatever inputted move goes through first. So if you do special attack all, quickly switch to X speed, those 2 are going to go off before your opponent can even make a move. You just want to keep doing that. Also, if you're queuing up multiple trainers, those are going to execute as soon as possible, and then that's just going to make it to where you're using moves faster. So, X special attack all, X speed, special attack all, X speed, spam Bubble until your sync move becomes available, and then you just nuke out the center Pokemon, deal with the side Pokemon if they somehow survive the barrage of bubbles, and then that's going to be it. Here's an example of how it works with Flannery. We have Flannery as the boss, as the main way of Chapter 3, and you can just kind of destroy her. Now you can see right here that this worked really well for taking out Flannery. So we're going into some stronger bosses, we're progressing through the story, and this strategy is going to be the best way of wiping out everything. And now, once you're done with that, you can start going into the level up courses. So after chapter 3, takes less than an hour of gameplay, unless you're like reading through all the text, but if you're just kind of like mashing through and you're just trying to rush it to get to like the end game where everything starts to really spice up, yeah, about an hour, you're gonna be good to go. And you can start doing the level up courses. And once again, as you can see here with Will, it's effectively just the same thing. And what the cool thing about level up courses is that there's really nothing to worry about when it comes to your trainer moves. You can just use them, and then the next time you do a level up course, they come back. So they're free, might as well spam them, and that's what you do. You dump through all of those, you get your sync move as soon as possible, and now you can start farming items to make your characters stronger and give yourself more levels, and things start to get really fun. Now, the rest of the video is going to be how to play Pokemon Masters optimally. Effectively, I failed a lot, so you don't have to. Now, if you want to stumble through the rest of the game blind and you just want a good little footing, you want to know how to do the training courses and stuff like that, that's effectively it for the video. If you want to run your 3 favorite trainers, you don't want to have to run any kind of meta, and you just want to go into the game, you want some struggle, you want to get defeated, you want to overcome it. The rest of the advice I can give you is just, you can grind through any problem effectively in this game, and the trainer moves are the most busted thing. Having good synergy, having good trainer move spam, and making it to that sync move before your opponent gets to nuke you out, that's effectively what you want to do with this game. But if you get ahead of yourself, you are going to learn very quickly that you're outmatched, and then you get slapped by Brendan's hard mode. Happens. So now we're just going to talk about how I overcame the rest of the challenges in Pokemon Masters. I did a lot of level grinding, so I was like, hey, I'm just going to get buried to level 30. And when you get buried to level 30, a storyline unlocks that lets you evolve your Piplup, but I got destroyed. So the Chansey, I just couldn't beat it out. No matter how much I spammed, no matter how fast I did it, I always lost. And then after going through and playing the story a bit more, I learned that there is a special course. So once you do the Professor Special course, that is how level caps unlock. Once again, I failed, so you don't have to. So you get strong enough, you can just pretty much do all the level stuff, max out your team on that first level cap, and then just grind through the story until this unlocks. So yeah, when Professor Bellis meets you in the Pokemon Center and tells you about her research, you follow up on that research, because I just floundered around for like 20 minutes, and then I realized, oh, that's how you unlock level caps. I did, and then the battle became very easily, and I had a Prinplup, which means life just got good. And now it's time to talk about the fieldwork and extra stages. When these events go on, you can find money. So this Pokeball has 10,000 coins in it, and that Pokeball has 20,000 coins in it. So depending on like where you are in the game, just kind of keep an eye out for free items during these parts. You can also skip through a lot of the battles here, so make note of that. If you're rushing, go for it. If you want to play at your own pace, battle those, get some experience, get some extra items, just kind of play through. But when you get those 30 coins, you can use them to unlock an extra move bar. So in the shop, 30,000 coins and 100,000 coins get you those extra action bars. And it was at this point in the game where I learned that you can speed up the game pace. Once again, my failures, etc., etc. There's also an auto button. Now, I knew about those, I just didn't click on them at this point. So if you really want to, you can speed up the game from the second you turn it on, or after your first couple battles when you get a rhythm, when you really start to understand Whitney, Rosa, berry, 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 bubble, 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 bubble. If you do that, and then you kind of got that down, yeah, speed it up 2 times, 3 times, and then you're going to be able to clear the game a lot faster. Now, emboldened by my newly evolved Pokemon and unlocked level cap, I went for the hard mode training courses, and this was my team. A level 26, a level 37, and a level 33, and Marshall has like no team synergy. I just threw him out there because I got a level 4 through all the gems I was earning through the story. I was like, yo, 4 stars, let's do it. Nah, just stick with Whitney or run whoever, because apparently that works. I just kind of used Marshall's attacks, got to my sync move, and Blaine was easy enough. And that wasn't even efficiently. So get your first level cap unlock, get a few extra levels, and you can start doing hard mode courses, and that's when the goodies unlock. Because with these strike, support, and tech courses, you get those big boy items, and I love this finishing screen right here. All of the rewards I got, you get skill capsules through hard, and you also get the super training machines through hard, and this is going to be pretty much the rest that you're going to need for a long time. If you're having trouble finding these items, that's how you get them. So you can use these skill capsules and super training machines for the moves and skills, as well as unlocking extra moves. That was another thing I needed to do. Like, I just unlocked Bubble Beam for the Piplup, and that made the Chansey battle a lot easier as well. So yeah, when you get the items to do that, and the skill sounds like it's something necessary, there's some skills that have like synergy with weather, or aren't like the most needed things initially, but if it sounds good, you can do it. And then, as you can see, unlocking the level cap to 60, and getting a super powerhouse Pokemon, that's not too crazy. You just do a couple of hard courses, and then you're going to be able to overcap really hard, and then I evolved Empoleon in not a lot of time. Now, we get to the very hard strike courses, and that is where Claire lives. So, as you can see, I got level 58 Berry, capped out to 60 because it was super easy to unlock through the hard courses, did some level up grinding, and then I had enough tomes, so let's see how we take on Claire. Level 33, level 58, level 29, so I mean, all you need to really know is that Berry is your carry. You get all that trainer stuff out of the way, you buff up Berry, and then you just slam down the attacks, and GG. Bit of a struggle, a bit tricky, and also if you level up Rosa, since she has a higher star power, and when you start getting like Snivy and Superior, that she's actually going to tank moves a lot better for you, and that's just because of how tanking works in this game. It's more based off of defensive strats. So my carry, Empoleon, was getting focused because my Whitney and my Rosa were underleveled, but it still worked out. So that's the magic number. Train to that, and then you can do the very hard courses, which means the rest of the game effectively becomes yours. So yeah, with that level of confidence and power, you are going to be in a really good position. Now this is taking on the very hard level up course. I ended up catching Rosa and Snivy up, as well as Whitney and Miltank, so unlocked some of their caps, leveled them up a little bit, and then Brendan was pretty free. So this is a different Brendan to what I showed earlier on in the video. That was a super course Brendan, and I was not ready for super courses at that time, but naturally just test the waters, you know, get a little stronger, see if you can beat that super course. If not, unlock a cap, level up, kind of feel out the power, see how clutch it gets, and then you can start getting more and more resources that way. With super courses, if you can complete them, 100% go for them, since they give you more items in a shorter amount of time than it takes to do it through the regular training courses, especially at the higher levels. So, like I said, you can kind of get over anything with grinding, but it's a lot of grinding on the regular training courses. But super courses kind of gets cut down quite a lot. And then you get the level up courses, you get the money courses, and you're going to have no problem getting yourself to the next to last max level. So unlocking the final level cap for Berry, as well as any of the other trainers, is going to require gym leader notes, and that is going to be the next video. So keep your eye out for an advanced Pokemon Masters training guide. Depending on when you're watching this video, it might already be out, so check the channel, check the playlist for Pokemon Masters down below, and that's kind of it. I just want to kind of give you the level break points that worked for me, and then the success I was able to have. But maybe, you know, the best thing in my way is that if you want to play through the story, if you want to get through with your team, I recommend using Rosa, Berry, and Whitney just so you can farm materials and then maybe get some gems, get some login bonuses, get some daily completions. Once again, gym, sync pair scouts, anything you can think about for Pokemon Masters, there's going to be a guide about it at some point. So, in that regard, use them for farming, and then use them to power up your favorites. Like, I got Marshall strong enough to where him not having synergy didn't really matter, and I would have an advantage where fighting type Pokemon are required, but type advantages aren't incredibly important. Now, as for increasing the potential of your trainers, that's going to be another video. Get their star power higher, get their level cap to 100, and then some advice on the super courses. That's going to be more advanced stuff. So once you start getting the very hard super courses and the really insane stuff, to where if you're maxed out and you're struggling, yeah, that's more advanced, so it takes a lot more detail to cover. And then Pokemon Masters, just kind of play through, have fun, tell me how it goes. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.